Hey guys, Joe DeMarco for the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, January the 6th, 2017. Welcome to the first video of the new year. Glad to have you guys with me. As you can see, it is freezing out. It's cloudy. It has rained every day this week except for today. However, they're saying snow later. So, as you can see, typical northeast cloudy weather. However, good news. As I said, today is January 6th. The holidays are over. Yeah! I would like to bang, drop kick them to Siberia. Anyway, we are safe for another 11 months. 11 months of peace, quiet, tranquility, and good sales. So let's get right to this week's video, because we're going to be talking a lot about holiday sales, or lack thereof. And we're also going to talk about your concerns and comments from last week's video and all those good things. As you can see right here, look very carefully. I wrote this down even though I'm going to talk about it. How were your sales the last week of the year since last week's video? I had my worst week ever in recorded history. From December 26th right up to January 2nd. That surprised me, because actually my December was decent. I had done well right up until December 25th. No problems. However, December 26th, bang. Right up to January 2nd was horrible. I went almost 3 straight days without a sale, which is a new record for me. I've never done that, and I don't like it, and it doesn't feel good. So, I said right away, I said, December 26th, I made no sales. December 27th, I made no sales. I said, I see where this is going. I said, I'm going to have to sit back, and I'm going to have to take this, and I'm going to have to wait till January 3rd. Not January 2nd, January 3rd, because there was a quirk in the calendar this year. The holiday, New Year's Day, fell on a Sunday, January 1st. Now, normally, everybody goes back to work January 2nd. However, the post office took off an extra day, both December 26th and January 2nd, which really threw everything off. Also not helping things, and I'm not sure if this is a regional problem or if it affects you guys as well, because I want to hear about this. I notice every year, no matter when the holiday falls, the week between Christmas and New Year's, nobody in this area works. I mean nobody. You see people lounging around in the middle of the day. There's no rush hour whatsoever. But comes noontime, there's traffic like crazy on all the highways leading to the malls. That week, that in-between week between Christmas and New Year's is always tough to deal with. At least right here in the Northeast. I'm wondering if it's like that in your areas too, so maybe you'd want to comment about that below. But as I said, because of a quirk in the calendar, January 2nd was kind of like a holiday for many people. Nobody here went to work. I went, but nobody else did. Just the people in retail went in. So I knew that that would be another dead day, and I'd have to wait till January 3rd. And sure enough, it was like somebody flipped a switch on my eBay store. Bang! January 3rd, my sales came rocketing right back like nothing was wrong. On the 4th, they dropped a little, but then they went back up on the 5th. So I'm really not concerned. I think it's going to be clear sailing for 11 straight months. So I am very optimistic. We are done with the holidays. Hooray! Moving on. I'm going over my quarterly figures for the last quarter from eBay. And I've talked about this in the past. I want to talk to you about my returns for each month in the last quarter. That's October, November, December. In October, I had $410 worth of returns. November, $316, and December, $380. Those are basically average for me. Those are average returns for any given month. I accept them as the cost of doing business. If you don't know how to get your returns and figure out how much you had per month, all you have to do is log into your PayPal account, click on Reports, select the month you want, a PDF file will appear, and you have the option of printing it if you want. I suggest every one of you guys review. It's good knowledge to know and know where you stand and how your returns are. As I said in the past, my returns usually are a little higher than most of yours because you're not dealing in eBay Motors. But also I do sell a lot, so it works out. Last week I mentioned about Hatchimals. For those of you guys who sold Hatchimals, you may be in for a problem because a lot of them are defective. Not only are they not hatching, but there are people that are claiming that these Hatchimals are saying curse words. If you just check on YouTube, if you do a search for Hatchimals, you will see quite a few videos that have been posted about these Hatchimals not working correctly. And it seems to be a pretty widespread problem. Now, I haven't heard of any of you guys complaining in last week's video that you had any returns or any issues, but if any of you do, I would love to hear it. I'd love to know how it works out for you. In last week's video, a person asked me about sales. And I was kind of surprised he would ask me this. He asked me about basically sales trends in my line. What sells best for me? And what about cars with alloy wheels? I want to address this briefly because I've mentioned it before, and I know some of you guys are actually interested in this, which surprises me because I didn't think too many people were interested in cars. Depending what kind of a car you have one or two options, and it has to be one or the other. Some cars come with full wheel covers like this. This is a full wheel cover that goes on a steel wheel. These are very easy to sell and they're very easy to deal with. Okay? Conversely, somebody had asked me about alloy wheels and whether or not they hurt business. And here's a common problem that people don't understand. Alloy wheels come with something like this in the middle. This is a center cap. These are a huge problem. It's a good news, bad news situation. The good news, there's a big demand for them. The bad news, they're very brittle and they're very wheel specific. If your wheel has this cap, your alloy wheel, you can only use this cap. You can't use one that looks like it. You have to be sure. Sometimes they come in two different sizes but look the same. So in that case you have to go by the part number that's on the back. These are where I get most of my returns. And I know there's at least one other guy that watches these videos. I think it's D. Kelly, who also sells some of these and also has problems with returns with center caps. I would say 90% of my returns are with center caps because people don't read. Sometimes it requires measuring the cap, sometimes you have to read the part number, and of course I tell people this in the listing. Please do all your homework, and if you're not sure, ask me. And they never ask me. They just go ahead and buy it, and they get the wrong one sometimes. So I hope that explains the situation with alloy wheels versus steel wheels. But if I haven't cleared it up for you, just ask below. Recently, I also talked about eBay messages and contacts, people asking me questions. I would say 75% of my questions come in the middle of the night. I just still don't get that. It happened again the other night. A person purchased something from me at about, let's say, 1 o'clock in the morning my time. After he makes the purchase, he contacts me through eBay contact system and says, I never updated my address. Would you please ship to this address instead? Okay, no problem. About an hour later, now it's 3 o'clock in the morning my time, he writes back and says, listen, did you get my message or not? I want you to ship it to the updated address. Now guys, I don't know where this guy lives, but who's going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning And I wrote back to him when I got up the next morning. I said, don't worry, I will ship to your updated address. No problem whatsoever. The reason I didn't answer you is because you texted me at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was sleeping. Is it just me, or do you guys have that issue too, where people, they ask you questions in the middle of the night and wonder why you're not getting back to them in a timely manner? I kind of wish eBay would have some kind of a time schedule or a time stamp telling buyers where we're located and that it might be in the middle of the night. So keep that in mind when sending a question. I know it's trivial because, as I said, I turn my phone off when I go to bed, so I don't hear any of the noises when there's a sale or when there's a question, because Joe needs 8 hours sleep a night. Okay? He has to have his 8 hours sleep or you don't want to deal with Joe. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Guys, if you're wondering why I'm standing out here in 22-degree weather when it's cloudy, raw, and there's even a little bit of a wind, it's because I've had several people complain in last week's video about the quality of the video when I'm indoors, because right now I don't have the proper lighting, and I totally understand that. But there's a fix in the works. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that in a future video. So for right now, I'm outside so everybody can clearly see what I'm doing and what I have to say. So guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to comment below. Your comments last week were really on point and on topic. Thank you for all the positive comments. Thank you for staying with me throughout 2016. It's now 2017. I hope all you guys will stay with me again, because this is the place to get your eBay comments and questions answered and talked about and discussed. Okay? You know who I am. I'm Crazy New York Driver. Yes, I'm an eBay fanboy, but I discuss things from a rational manner and I call them as I see them. If something's not working right, you guys who have watched my videos for years know I will say something about it. Why? Because I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching. Comments below if you have any issues, comments, concerns, questions. And basically always keep in mind, I'm out here every week. I'm trying to help you guys make money on eBay. I am a seller friend, not a seller critic. I hope you guys make a lot of sales this week. Rock on and peace! Yeah!